What's up, folks? Welcome back to the channel. It's Fozza here, and today is Monday, which means we're bringing you another FIFA 22 custom tactics video. Today, as you can tell by the title and thumbnail, we're taking a look at the 4-1-2-1-2 Naro, the second variant of it, where you don't have a left mid and right mid, they're just a full central system. I used it this past weekend with not exactly this team. The full team I use, I'll show you now. So this is the team I actually used. I've since sold a couple of the players. I sold Trap, so I can't really get that link anymore. So I've sort of rebuilt it roughly with a similar personnel, and we'll talk through the best player instructions, the best tactics, and the best personnel to use, and then I'll have some gameplay afterwards as well, just to showcase how the formation works. So if you do enjoy this sort of content, please hit that like button down below. Let us know you're enjoying the content. I'll make more of it, and it helps me in the algorithm, so it's a win-win across the board. Hit that subscribe button if you're new around here, because we're making a push to try and hit 1,000 subs. That way we can apply for the YouTube Partner Program. And without any further ado, let's jump into the video. So real first, before we dive in, I finally used this Indica card, who was like 60k off the market because the team of the season dropping the prices, and he was nuts. I'm going to be using him again this weekend, I think, because he was so good. He links into the new Boss Calgary SBC, which released last night. My main takeaways from this weekend, though, were Sinistera had very good finishing. He wasn't as rapid as I thought he would be, but very good. And Koku was just a beast for me. I did pack this one after champs, as I won 14 and 5. So we managed to get the team of the season pack, and we managed to get the 2 red picks. We got Lloris and Carrasco from those. But let's jump into the custom tactics, and we'll tear through them for you guys. So as I say, 4-1-2-1-2 Naro, we're using press after possession loss with 70 depth and 45 width. We've upped the depth a little bit. The past 2 weeks we've been doing 60. I decided, you know what, it's team of the season, it's getting sweaty. Also, with all these sweats returning, you have the chance to sort of take advantage. You know, if you're having to play a bit more sweaty, you can also just put on the press and squeeze them in and try and get some faster wins, because there will be sweats playing and there will be new people coming back, so you can kind of get a nice mix of maybe an extra couple of easier wins with just abusing the press. So 45 width is what worked best for me. I had this higher and lower, and I was having a few issues with how the fullbacks would work. I had to settle on 45. That's what gave me the best results. Build up play, we're going long ball and direct passing. We've got 50 widths because obviously we've got central midfielders instead of left mid and right mid, so we need that width. And 4 players in the box, 1 for corners and 2 for one for free kicks. I did try 5 and 2 on this. I didn't like it at all. Went back to the 4 and 1. I think this worked really well. I do tend to like forward runs and fast build up, and that's what I was initially testing on this formation. And a few different instructions, but I found the team was just getting really stretched when you are playing these like really high meta teams and these guys that are desperate for these team of the season packs. You had to switch up a little bit because you were getting taken advantage of, and this then provided this really rounded formation that I quite enjoyed. I will be going on to test more, as I always do, but this is a solid little formation to have in your locker throughout team of the season. So formation wise, this is how I would line it up, and you'll see the instructions in a minute, but basically your back 4 is self-explanatory. You want 2 fullbacks and 2 centre backs. None of this fullback and centre back crap in these systems. For the back, you want 2 proper quick centre backs. The DM, you want a medium attacking, high defensive work rate player. You do want a medium defense, the medium high if you can. Finale is that perfectly. For your centre mids, now earlier in the game cycle, you could get away with using someone like McKennie here, and then even someone like Mkhitaryan here on this like centre mid spot. But I found with these specific instructions and tactics, you need 2 box-to-box players. So I want like the likes of McKennie here, who's going to be your box-to-box, who is still very good at defending. And then you want a box-to-box player whose defensive stats you don't have to worry about too much. They can be a high attacking medium defensive work rate player as well. So examples here would be, if you want to use Tonali, then maybe someone like that Winter Wildcard Modric here instead of McKennie, or you can use McKennie. And then for Kochu's position, you can use the likes of Pellegrini, or you know, like maybe a Hulk card, something like that. But I think Kochu was very, very good in this position. I hope I'm pronouncing that well as well. Obviously, it's a Turkish name. I might be butchering it. If I do, I apologise. Instruction side of things. So over in the goalkeeper, we're running balance. I tried comes for crosses and sweeper keeper. I didn't like it for this formation. I do think it's very much personal preference and depends on the formation. Centre back side of things, very self-explanatory. Everyone's default. The fullbacks is where I changed a lot of things throughout the testing, and I landed on just stay back while attacking. For whatever reason in this system, when you put overlap on these fullbacks, it makes their positioning both offensively and defensively just absolutely shocking. So just run stay back while attacking. You'll see why in a minute, because we're not really having any of the midfielders stay back too much. So you do want these guys to stay back, otherwise you're going to get broken. What I will note is, if you go to Tonali now, he's man mark, cover center, and drop between defenders. Now I always talk about this, when it's on drop between defenders, basically it's going to push your fullbacks up. Tonali's going to drop in between, in my case, Pascal and Ndicka. They're going to both push out a little bit, and in return, that pushes Roberto Carlos and Cafu out and up. So although they'll stay back while attacking, and there's mixed attacking mixed attacking runs, mixed attacking runs, they're actually going to go a little bit further than you expect normally. If you had Tonali on stay back, they wouldn't do this. And this is why I've opted to put drop between defenders on and have the 2 fullbacks to stay back. It gives me a bit of a lock of 5 people back if I want to, and then I can make the manual decision to get the fullbacks forward, which I do. You should see that in the gameplay as well. I think this is what worked best. And then when you get into the centre mids, this is when you're going to have people on get forward. So in the case of McKennie, I have him get forward and stay on edge of the box across because he is my second most defensive midfielder. I don't want him getting caught up on runs into the box and leaving things stranded. What this should do is help create not have massive gaps between, say, Tonali, the defenders, and then like everyone else. So McKennie offers that sort of buffer. Meanwhile, Koscielny, however, is get forward and get into the box across. He's got a 5-star weak foot. He has some cracking long shots to note. Absolutely phenomenal long shots on him. And he's the guy that I want to be getting into the box. That's what I'm saying. This is where you want a high attacking, medium work rate. High attacking, medium defensive work rate player. To get into the box to score, you kind of want at least 4-star, 4-star. Koscielny is 3-star, 5-star. The skill moves can let him down a little bit, but the 5-star weak foot is, both feet are absolute rockets. So that's where that is beneficial there. As I say, then McKennie is going to get forward, but not necessarily get into the box. He'll stay on the edge for passing options, and overall it looks really well. The cam is going to be stay forward, get into the box across, and aggressive interceptions. If you're not new around here, you'll know this is the best thing for cams these days. You want the aggressive interceptions on. It does hit stamina a bit more, so in the case of George Best, I had to take him off in the 60th minute. He probably could have made it to the 70th or 75th, but I like making subs at the 60th minute anyway. So I found that was the best time to take him off and replace him. I was replacing him with Suso, I think, most of the time, where you want a really pacey guy who can break through. Then on the attacking side of things, Balde is obviously my main striker, so he stay forward, stay central, and get him behind. And then my pace merchant is just getting behind, and this is probably the best way to do this. You can run this with 2 strikers. So for example, I could have Tammy Abraham here in Balde's position and just move Balde over here, and that would still work. So you can run 2 normal strikers. In the case of this system, obviously we've got 2 wingers and a striker, so I had to make one of the wingers go into the striking opportunity. With George Best not being as rapid, that's why I opted to leave him in cam. He has good, alright passing, really crack dribbling. He can get the job done and distribute. And then Balde and Sinister, I think combined, are both like 99 pace, so 98 or 99 possibly. So, you know, really, really rapid players, which I quite enjoyed. And I say that's all the instructions for it, so that's all you're here for. Thank you guys for tuning in. But I'm going to go through some gameplay now for you. I'm going to hit no because I don't want to see any of the changes. I say this is the team, just to recap, this is the team I've changed it to, but this is the team I used for the weekend. So I had Caliguri basically playing instead of McKennie, and I had Incampe playing instead of the new PSV player, and Incampe was very good actually, and Caliguri is a beast, but he's going to be a super sub for me moving forward, I think. So let's jump over to the gameplay side of things now. Okay, so we're going to kick off the gameplay here, showing off a little bit of what the build-up opportunity is like. Obviously, Dickens played the ball out there. We're using Tonali and Caliguri here for little passes. So Caliguri was my right centre mid, Tonali was my defensive midfielder. You can see here where we were attacking, Tonali was making a little bit of a run there. Because he's dropped between defenders, he's going to realise, okay, I want to drop out a little bit. And you'll see though, the fullbacks are very wide, and they will just continually sort of hold a position there for you. And I was running with Caliguri. Unfortunately, the pass doesn't quite pay off, but it does fall to Balde, and we finish that off. So this is whenever I've just had a corner, so my team are going to start retreating back. But we do have the press on, and we're going to win the ball back. So you can see that Ndicka wins the ball back. Sinistera here is a little rapid machine, and obviously I can just cut the ball back really nicely. And for that, I had to take the touch with Tonali because the shooting opportunity wasn't there. But you see, he always dropped between defenders. He will pop up like that in some opportunities for goals. This is a really good way of showing how the fullbacks can get involved. See, Caliguri's made the run. You've got the two. You've got Balde and Sinistera here. You've got George Best, and then Koscielny's here. Tonali's already dropped in between, and you see it basically creates like a 5-back line. You could possibly put them on balance if you want to try that and see how it goes. But I feel that will then, it'll ruin you sometimes with, if Tonali's not perfect in the transitioning, which it's EA, drop between defenders isn't always perfect for the transition, and that's why I like the fullbacks to be that back there for security. Koscielny, really poor ball in, honestly. We go and win it back on the press though. Tonali intercepts it. Then you can see Roberto Carlos stays forward here, and I'm able to get a really nice ball onto him. His crossing's phenomenal, so we get it through, and then Sinistera wins a header, you know, against Marquinhos. So this card surprised me. It wasn't quite as rapid as I thought it was going to be, but his finishing and position was very good. Again, it's another example of the press. We've lost the ball here on the attack. He goes to play it out. I managed to press with Caligari, who's a centre mid there, and then you got plenty of people forward. That was meant to be for the far side for Sinistera. Best makes the run into the box, which I was actually set to, and then that was a 4-0 rage quit. Guys, for this next one, I'm going to be showing you the pros and cons of the system. So essentially, the pros are like the attacking. I won this game 4-3, but I think the 3 goals, at least 2 of them, sort of showcase some of the liabilities that you just need to be aware with. As I always say, no system's perfect, so I always want to showcase a couple of little issues you can expect. If you're aware of them, then you might be able to prevent them from happening. My first goal in this case came from I had the ball, I've lost it here, but the team was pressed. See, Roberto Carlos gets forward. You can see I had Mkhitaryan playing there. Best go forward. I'd said to play the ball through the Sinistera. You see, that's when we win this ball back on the press with this system. Obviously, it depends how the other person's playing as well, but his team were wanting to get forward. Instantly, I was in like a 3-on-2 there. He pulled kind of RO out, which made it much easier to finish as well, which is quite handy. I really like this goal because it shows how easily you can cut someone open. So obviously, you can see here already, even this transition, this is perfect for the Tonali drop between defenders. We won the ball back, and you can see Koshu is going forward. He was my right centre mid in this case. He's sort of crossed over to now. He's going to go drop between the defenders, and then you essentially have that 5-back system again. Lots of little 1-2s here. Managed to play that just onside, and then obviously you want to sweat the ball in. Really nice build up, very quick build up. We're not playing fast build up, but these little like L1 passes, like to tap and go, pass and go, like one touch football. Very nice. His first goal honestly came from poor defending for me, right here. So he plays it through. I dove in with Ndika, Ronaldo didn't get there, and then I went with Nkampe, completely mistimed it. But obviously, it's then boom, Cafe almost stops it from going in, and that's the first goal. But that's if you make the mistake of pulling one defender out, and Tonali hasn't, say Tonali's in that transition of drop between defenders, you then can be left in a 1-on-1 where if you mistime the tackle, it could be over. This third goal is from Koshu. I think it might be the long shot. I'm not 100% sure. But see, Mkhitaryan picks the ball up here. I sort of see the space at the edge of the box for him. I might get it to him, touch it. Look at that for a rocket, man. He's got, obviously, 5-star weak foot, really nice long shots. He just absolutely fires them in for fun, I found. So you go 4-1 up in this game. I win the ball back. Got a little bit lucky with that pass from him. See, I'm sending a lot of people on runs here, and then we just get the ball to Sinistera. Really nice dribbling from him, which is a key thing. I've got a marksman on, boost that dribbling up. And his finishing is nice. That 4-star. My only gripe with him probably is that he's high work rates. His 4-star weak foot is really reliable. I had this a couple times this weekend. This one was very much per pass for me. So I went intercepted from Carlos, and he's only got a 2-star weak foot, and he just gets absolutely blessed through. His last goal was never the last kick of the game when I stopped playing for the 4-3. But I think there's another couple of people true in a second where sometimes in the transition when you try to play a pass, if it does get intercepted, you can be absolutely ruined. So guys, that's all the gameplay. I think it was interesting gameplay. We didn't get as many like big breakdown moments as we did in some of the other systems. I feel this weekend being very sweaty. I got plenty of gameplay. Some of it wasn't as interesting with how some people were playing, but we should have got a good amount in there for you. So let me know in the comments down below what you think of the system, anything you'd possibly change in it. Let me know if you enjoyed the gameplay, if you want to see more or less. That feedback's really good to make sure the videos are as like well-rounded and perfect for you guys as possible. Let me know if you get on with the system, if you try it, what sort of records you get, if it helps you climb divisions. I know some of you guys let me know that you changed these systems, changed my formations and tactics, and you managed to get more wins or like climb divisions, which is really nice, especially with team of the season when there's more rewards on the line. But I say, hit that like button if you enjoyed the video, hit that subscribe button if you're around here. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you in the next video, guys. Goodbye.